Kodaikanal won't, Kodaikanal won't, Kodaikanal won't step down till you make amends now. This is the story of Kodai's frustration, known to us as the princess of hill stations. Unilever came and left devastation as they exposed the land to contamination. Kodaikanal won't step down until you make amends now.
If you're on the internet, you must have come across this song in the last few days. The voice behind this message belongs to Sofia Ashraf. She has taken on the likes of Unilever and Dow Chemicals through her rap songs. We have her here with us to talk about her music, life and more.
Thank you so much for having me.
How did Kodaikanal happen? What made you join the cause and lend your voice to it?
Well, I've been rapping since a young age. I love rap because I think it uses music and poetry, two of my favorite things, and gives me a way to express myself. So there's this collective called Vetiver Collective who noticed me, and they wanted to use my voice for some of their causes, because Vetiver Collective is a collective of people like lawyers, writers, artists, like-minded people who come and then they discuss social and environmental issues, and they try to lobby for rights, and they try to address human rights violations and social environmental violations. So initially I didn't take up the cause, but then after I did a little more research, I was like, you know what, I did 2 days of hardcore research after that when they again approached me. And then I was like, oh wait, you know what, this is a cause I want to take up. Then there was about a week or so of research that went before writing the song. Now after all this research, writing the song just took half an hour. I just sat and wrote, and the song got churned out. We recorded it in a day, and the music video we shot in 1 day. Now if anyone's in the industry, you know how tough it is to shoot a music video in 1 day with zero budget. Everyone who's come in on that video has come in off their own accord. If you freeze any frame in that video and tag that person, and you go to that person and ask them about the cause, they know about the cause, because everyone has come and volunteered. The dancers were briefed about the cause and they came and volunteered. They said, we will definitely come and sign the petition. Except maybe the little kids didn't know about it, but their parents knew about it. In fact, one of the little girls in the protest knows completely about the cause. I'm sure if you can get her on channel, she'll tell you everything about the cause. The protest that we had was completely volunteers from Vetiver and other media. So I think that's what worked with the video. Oh, it was so real because it was everyone who felt something for the cause coming together and creating a campaign.
You have taken on Dow Chemicals earlier, and now you've taken on Unilever. Is there a reason that people come to you with this?
Well, I think it's primarily because of my association with Vetiver Collective. Vetiver Collective are phenomenally well-informed collective of people who actually have introduced me to these causes. You think I'm introducing you to the causes? No, it's Vetiver who introduced me to the causes. I'm not the champion of the cause. I'm actually just the creative execution. These are the guys who do the hard work, and the arrangement that I have with Vetiver is, if they'll bring a cause to me, and if it appeals to me, then I will rap about it. So it's not that I have made a conscious effort to be a social activist rapper.
What is Sophie apart from being a social activist rapper?
I rap about a lot of things that basically just mean something to me. I've rapped about internal conflicts that I've faced. I've rapped about my religion. I've rapped about even how it feels like to work in a corporate environment. So I rap about anything that just means something to me. As long as my rap has an opinion in it, and that opinion is my own, I think it works.
Okay. Did you decide to quit your job at O&M because of this song and the position that you were going to take?
Not particularly. I was planning on moving away from traditional advertising for a while. My bosses were very aware of it, so it wasn't a shocker for them. I was telling them that I do intend to move ahead and move on. And that's why initially I hadn't taken up the cause, because there was a conflict of interest. But then when I put in my papers, I suddenly realized, hey, I can do this. This is something that I want to do. And I think doing this has really helped me, because after I put in my papers and started doing this, and the video released just the day that I quit, the last day of my job, I realized that this is the kind of work that I want to do, like real work.
And how sustainable is just working for a cause? I mean, because you have to feed yourself at the end of the day, and being in Mumbai, the most expensive city in the country, it's not
sustainable at all. That's why I remember I used to volunteer for a bunch of NGOs, and these NGOs were very smart about it. Like, for example, how this NGO took to social media. There was an NGO that used to rely on high-end celebrity events to make money for the cause, and then people started talking about, oh, these guys are just making money. The thing is, you don't go to a doctor and say, oh, you're supposed to do something nice for society. Doctors are doing something nice. Why are you making money out of it? Why do we ask NGOs why are they making money? So it's a long time before we're okay with NGOs making money. So that's why I have to do another job to sustain. I remember I'd always told my mom I wanted to quit and join an NGO, and my mom gave me the best piece of advice. She said, you can quit, join an NGO, you'll help 30 people, or you do what you're doing, earn, get really rich, and you help 100 people. Go figure what you want to do.
Why is rap most often the choice of the language of rebellion? I mean, why do rebels identify with rap?
That's a great question. Actually, if you see the history of rap, it began as a subversive culture. Rap evolved, you will be surprised, side by side with blues and jazz. And if you remember, blues and jazz were the music of the time where people were expressing the revolts that was happening. Because if you remember the black population in the white under the white rule during the time of Civil War and all, they were going through a lot, and this was a way to express themselves. Rap was a way for them to express themselves. Initially, it began as that. People would just sit, start drumming a beat and spit some mad flow. So this is not something new. It is just history repeating itself.
So can we have one on any of these you've mentioned?
Yeah, there was this rap I did about what it feels like to work in a corporate world. I think a lot of people might relate to this. It goes like this. Hey, ringa roses pocket full of projects docket kulla pundu kinnu varkai koda maricha. I got job leads and call sheets and time sheets and spreadsheets. No time to eat, I'm down to meet my folks, my bros. I'm trying to be rational, professional, and live inside my cubicle. So how now can I think outside the box? We're just pixels in a picture where features of a vessel, where glitches in a system, where pieces of a puzzle. This business is a piece of a bigger proposition. They kick us out the frame for a better composition. Tall claims we all make, saying at the end is a bowl game. No place to play, trees raced away. To create bills we are forced to pay. Pays to pays, no space today. So we walk on thin ice every day. Can't face the days we waste away. So what's the whole point anyway?
When I look back on the articles that have come about you over the years, you were talked about for your statement of wearing a burqa and doing rap music, okay, and talking about Islam. And now we have you over here, and your message has changed, your attire has changed. Can you take us through that journey?
But I was called a burqa rapper because, I don't know, they just found it to be a conflicting image. But back then I was very passionate about my religion, and it permeated everything that I did. Then I had a few ideology differences, and I decided my old beliefs stopped making sense to me, and I moved on. And when I moved on, I decided that I wouldn't be true to myself if I just pretended to follow a religion that stopped making sense to me. As I said, I'm someone who was very vocal about her convictions. So I moved on. So now the convictions that I have now, if you see my rap, earlier my rap would be maybe about Islam. It was also about social causes. I have rapped about social causes. Now it would be about identity crisis, about things like that I went through when I moved to a new city. So it's still the same person, but maybe a different avatar.
Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is rap being the language of rebellion, and then you started singing it while you were practicing Islam. Is there a connection?
The reason why I rapped about Islam was it was at a time where people were treading around eggshells around me, where people were a little wary of asking questions about Islam around me, because this was around 9/11, where the Islamic identity itself was being questioned, and a lot of Muslim youth suddenly took to researching the religion and learning more about it, so that they could understand what is this religion that they've been following, and does it really preach terrorism? Does it really is it as oppressive or backward as people claim it to be? So a lot of us Muslims got together. We were learning about the religion. We realized it's a beautiful religion. I mean, there's no denying that. And I took to rap about Islam because I realized a lot of Muslims, and I see a lot of modern day Muslims who sit and say, oh, Islam is not terrorism. Someone should tell the world is ignorant. Islam is not terrorism. But the problem is they're just saying that between four walls. They're not going out on a public forum and giving the message in a way that is palatable to the audience. Because I know it sounds really crass, but it took an Anaconda video to get a message that was so serious as HUL across, because we have been going to mainstream media with this, but it took something like this. So there's a way to present your ideas, and I think more Muslims, if they went out on public forum and educated the masses about what real Islam is, then I think people wouldn't be as ignorant as you claim them to be, and that's what I was doing back then.
In one of your articles that had been written by you, you've said that you had to deal with a lot of flack and also tears of your family, and their confusion about what the path you were taking. So have they reconciled with the new Sophie, and are they proud of the fact that you just broke the internet?
Well, proud they are, definitely. My mom calls me, and even though she pretended to be all like strict on the phone, was like, oh, why are you in sleeveless? But I could hear the pride in her voice. She was very proud of what I've done. And of course, like every mom, she worries. Like whether I'm going up against a multinational corporation or taking a bus late at night, it's the same level of worry for all moms. But with regard to the flack and the emotional outbursts that it was difficult to deal with. But I think at some point I had to put me first and believe in what I do. So yes, they at some point, I think it's there with all parents. Parents have an idea of you in their head, and they're just waiting for you to adhere to that idea. And my parents are just waiting for me to come back to the old Sophia. I just wish they'd know that this is me. This isn't a face.
Any final thoughts?
Well, a lot of people have been asking me if I have a message for people who are listening to this. I'd say I have no message, because I think the youth really know what they're doing. I've met a lot of intelligent, aware, smart individuals who are doing a lot in their own competence. And I think the fact that people have started sharing this video just shows that everyone has a conscience. So I'd say just be amazing at what you do and help us out in however way you can.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much for having us.